Grant Ellison is my name, and until a few days ago I believed that my marriage was stable. Not a romantic fairy tale, but 8 years of steady, solid adult love with the same woman. I had learned her routines, tolerated her eccentricities. I used to believe that I was a decent spouse, a mature man, because I would apologize, even when I wasn't at fault, just to keep the peace. Apparently, I was just a well-fed mutt in a safe harbor. But last Friday, that's when things started to fall apart. In all honesty, it had likely been unraveling for years. I just didn't hear the thread snap. Until that moment, we were far into the drive. Skylar had asked me to take her and her friends, Ruth and Laura Haley, on a trip. I remember squinting at her when she asked. I was surprised, because I'd just driven 5 hours for a spa weekend in the hills. She and Hugo had already planned to go fishing. But she flashed that tight, practiced smile, the one she always used when she needed a favor. We need the SUV. You know none of us want to cram into Ruth's Prius. You're good at long drives. So, I said yes. I filled the tank, packed their bags, cleaned the dashboard, put gum and snacks in the center console. Skylar climbed into the back seat, not even the passenger side, without a word. No thank you, just started chatting with her friends. The first hour passed. None of them asked how I was, no coffee offered. I might as well have been the Uber driver. It was quiet, for me, except for their constant requests. Turn, down the heat, change the playlist, go faster. But I kept my hands on the wheel. I was used to disappearing when Skylar was with her friends, the kind of women with matching Instagram captions and color-coordinated brunch outfits. I didn't belong in that world, and then, around hour 3, near the foothills. The illusion cracked. Laura's voice pierced the cabin. Skylar was laughing at something she'd said. Then came the words, "He's like a rescue dog. You feed him, and he wags his tail." Laughter followed. Not confused chuckles, but real, unkind laughter, as if it were the funniest thing they'd heard all week. I flinched, gripped the steering wheel harder, stayed silent. But something inside me twisted. For a moment, they went quiet. Maybe Haley cleared her throat. Maybe Laura tapped her screen. Maybe they thought I hadn't heard. But I had. Skylar's phone buzzed. And just like that, she changed the subject. As if she hadn't just called me a stray mutt she picked up off the street. I spent the next 2 hours somewhere else. Mentally, organizing bolts in a toolbox, trying not to hear the echo of their laughter in my mind, even as we pulled into the spa complex. I was still replaying that damn joke about the rescue dog. Skylar barely looked at me, straightened her bag, then popped the trunk. I stacked their luggage by the valet stand. She slipped on her sunglasses and said, "Remember to wash the sheets before I get back. They smell as bad as you do." Then, "You didn't even kiss me goodbye." That was it. She disappeared through the glass doors, left me standing there, alone, with nothing. I didn't scream, didn't cry, just sat in the car, stared at the dash, 5 whole minutes. I wanted to call Hugo, but I didn't. I just stared out the windshield, feeling smaller than I had in years. The drive back was quiet, no music, just the road, and her words playing in my head like a bitter melody. "He wags his tail when you feed him." I used to think we were just coasting, like most couples. You work, you pay bills, you smile through dinner, you visit in-laws, plan weekends that never happen. But I told myself we were just busy. We'd find our rhythm again. But what if there was no rhythm? What if the love I thought we had was just compliance? I don't know when it happened. Maybe between hour 3 and hour 4. But I realized something on that drive. I wasn't grieving. I was ashamed. And it only got worse when I got home. Everything felt different. Even the pictures in the hallway. She picked the furniture, She picked the wall colors. I wanted olive green for the living room. She said it looked cheap, so we got charcoal. Because, as always, I agreed. I stood in the kitchen. Her meal plans were on the fridge, her workout schedule, but nothing of mine. No magnets, no childhood photos, no trace that I ever existed before her. I was 36, had a mortgage, a degree in architecture, good credit, but I felt like a guest in my own house. I made a sandwich. Not because I was hungry, but because I didn't know what else to do with my hands. I chewed silently, staring at the tile floor I had laid with my own 2 hands last summer. She'd gone wine tasting with Rachel, didn't even notice the new floor when she got back. I went into her office, just to drop off a delivery she'd asked for. A self-care pack, candles, tea, crystal-laced bath salts. Her laptop was open, sleep mode, Facebook still logged in. I didn't mean to pry. I'm not the jealous type. Never even changed my phone password. But something pulled me. So I looked. It wasn't the main feed. It was a private message tab. At first I scanned names, spa friends, Rachel, a few coworkers. Then I saw a group chat called Rescue Squad Dogface with Ears of Joy. I clicked. It was all there, dozens of messages, jokes, screenshots, mockery, Skylar, Laura, Haley, Ruth. All laughing at their husbands like it was a sport. Making fun of us, of me. One message read, "He does stuff so well, I should reward him. Haley, you should give a class." Laura added, "Step 1, how to domesticate your man in 30 days or less." Ruth joked, "Step 2, watch him smile while doing dishes." And there was a screenshot of a message I'd sent Skylar just 2 weeks ago. I scrolled, and my heart fell. There it was. Chat logs with Laura. Messages about timing things. Thoughts she didn't want anyone else to read. Skylar's message said, "Russ stated, once I'm free, he'll make it official. Promotion. First, then papers." Laura had replied, "Just make sure Grant doesn't figure it out too quickly. He'll probably cry and destroy your story." And Skylar answered, "Oh, please," folding, as usual. The man still apologized. My coffee had gone cold by the time I rolled my eyes. I closed the laptop and sat in silence for what felt like hours. My hands felt strange, like they didn't know what to do, because this wasn't just betrayal. I was being used. I wasn't just being mocked. I had been trained, conditioned. She had slowly erased me from her life to make space for someone else. While I sat there thinking we were just going through a rough patch.